Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy. I'm gonna do a quick flip here. Cool McCain back in the building on the NFC Beast. I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back, y'all. And I am joined by up in this corner, the man himself, Mr. Big Time. Big Time, what's going on?
I did all that. Shut up, crowd. Shut up. That's all I got to say. I'm not in a good mood. I'm still hot. We'll talk about that later, but what's up, everybody? What's going on?
Understand. And we also got that guy. You see him everywhere. Soccer, arena football, indoor, wherever. You know what I'm saying? Couch coach. What's going on, couch coach?
What's going on, man? Everything good, on to Atlanta, so I'm good, just trying to stay positive,
Been a tough couple of weeks for the division, man. We took some tough games. We've been lucky so far, but hey, we ain't going undefeated the whole season, so it's coming at some point. It's just a matter of when. But yeah, our guy, Mr. Sam Shady, who's holding it down for me the last 2 weeks, he'll be sliding in with us here in a few minutes. But we're gonna go ahead and get this thing moving, right? Because we're here to have a good time, not be here for a long time. So, with that being said, we're gonna start off with our review of our games from the previous week. So we will start off with the New York Giants game versus the Miami Dolphins. We don't have our Giants person on, so we'll just kind of take a crack at that ourselves and kind of, just talk about what we saw while we were watching that game. So, Big Time, I'll start with you. Did you see anything in that game of interest to you?
Just to see how well the Giants would play. I think it was expected that the Dolphins would win the game, but the way they've been scoring and the way they've been doing people, the question was, how bad would they beat the Giants? And they still beat them, but they played a little bit better than what I thought they would. They kind of gave you a slight blueprint, if you want to say that. The way you beat the Dolphins, I've always said it. You just need the team that can do it. You got to be physical with them. You can't let their finesse football team, even the runners, even though their runners, have the gigantic yardage. They run hard, but they're really fast. But if you put that hat on them, and I'm not talking about Morrison, I'm talking about the young kid that's just so fast. I forgot, I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, you're talking about
if you hit him, look out. You know what I'm saying? Morster, he can run pretty well, but it's a little bit more. They put a little physical on him, and you can see they had a little rough time with that. But it wasn't surprising to see them win. So that's really all I got out of it.
I dig that. So we got a couple of comments here, and then we'll hop over to Couch Coach. So Terry says, "I miss you today, Bishop."
Gotcha.
And Terry also says, "I'm not reviewing the 49er games. We sucked last week." We'll get to that.
Oh God.
All right, Couch Coach, what you got about that Giants and Dolphins game?
Same like Big Time. I think it was a game that we expected that the Dolphins were going to win. It did get opportunity. You look at, there was some good bright spots for them. Obviously, getting that 102-yard interception return that kind of, in essence, kind of turned the tide for this game, because obviously they were down 14-0. They kind of, obviously with the Graham Gano field goal, then with the 102-yard touchdown, the pick off of Tua Tagovailoa. But once that happened, essentially that's when Miami kind of kicked in the second gear. Obviously, like you said, Maserati did his thing in that game. Tua, once again, surgical, did his thing, threw it to Tyreek Hill, and also Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill. So yeah, it's it was expected, and they didn't get 70. So I mean, that's the only thing you can at this point. You can say, hey, they ain't hang 70 on us, but it is what it is.
I mean, I feel it. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
go along for the ride and just simply say, man, we saw some fight out of the Giants, right? The Giants came to play, obviously outmatched talents wise, but as Big Time alluded to, they did show you what a lot of people have said, and I've definitely heard Big Time say it before, and I agreed then as well. You have to be physical with a finesse team. You have to give them what they don't like, right? So definitely feel like the Giants were able to do that, but like I said, just the talent gap. The Giants made some plays. They were feisty. They were not going to just go down, right? They won't go down swinging, and I give them credit for that. But as you both guys so eloquently put it, we knew who were going to win this game before it started. It was just a matter if it was going to be another 70 burger or if the Giants are going to be like, you might beat us, but we have a little bit more pride than that. So, that's what I saw for the Giants. So tougher schedule this year for sure. So it's going to be some of these tough games we're going to lose as a division and as an individual team. But the big thing is you want to go down being able to gain something positive even in a loss. So the Giants were able to do that. So we got to give them credit for that. Shout out to Wise. Wish you were able to be with us this week, man, but I get it. All right. So we'll move on to our second review for week 5, and it'll be the Eagles versus Rams game. So we'll just do the same thing. We'll start with you, Big Time. We'll go couch coach and then myself. Let's talk about what you saw in the game.
A lot of people thought that the Rams could possibly pull that one off, especially with Cooper Kupp coming back. They thought maybe they can, possibly outgun the Eagles. But the Eagles are true to what they are so far. They ran the ball. And running the ball slows up a team that is finesse as well. The Rams are not what they are. I even would say that Aaron Donald is not the same. He's still great, but he's not the same guy. Obviously, and they just ran the ball. They put Swift in there and just pounded the ball, and that sets up an easy play action game. And AJ is still AJ, but it all started with the offensive line and the running game, and that's pretty much what shut it down. Kupp, everybody been trying to figure out how to stop Kupp for the last 3-4 years. So for him to have a gigantic half like he had, just coming back was not a surprise. The young kid that's Paku, whatever his name is, he's he's doing quite well. The Rams are going to be a problem, but Philly's just too much as far as running the ball. The strength, they're true to their strength of their team, and that's really what took over as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, dig that. What you got, guys, coach?
I mean, yeah, pretty much the same. I think when you look at it's a textbook example of how to win football games. Obviously, you run the football, and like you said, you keep that Rams offense off the field. You look at considering the fact you almost had the ball, the time of possession, you almost had it for 38 minutes. 37 minutes and 55 seconds. You're gonna win football games when you do stuff like this. And I think when you look at and that's one thing we always talk about, especially from when we play you guys. Like we always harp on the fact of, hey, you don't want these type of problems in the sense where you want to, keep your offense on the field and keep just wearing the defense out. And you obviously there was tons of tush pushes, especially to get you guys in opportunities to continue drives and essentially wear this Rams team out. And like you said, you look how the game was shaped where, hey, you guys are in the driver's seat for pretty much most of the game. Rams try to come back, but then it's like they, you hit, they give you a left hook and you hit them with 2 left hooks. And then it's, that's how you get a W, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for me was we made adjustments. In the first half, they were able to pretty much do what they wanted to, right? Big plays, they was eating us up, Nakua as well. And then that second half, I saw Sean Desai do what I saw him do to a lesser extent the first 3 games of the season, and that was make halftime adjustments. Week 4, I didn't see any adjustments, so I was concerned if it was a regression or if that was just that one week where things just weren't going well. So after week 5, at least it seems to be that was more of a regression for that one week. So maybe didn't know what to do or got overrid on some things he wanted to do different, whatever the case may be. But I like the adjustments. I did like that we came out running the ball. I did like that we took the shots that were there. Still looking for that screen game that was very proficient last year. Haven't seen a lot of that. I think that's a wrinkle that we're not showing. One of the concerns I have for the Eagles is I think we're smarter than everyone else. So we say, oh, we're not going to do these things yet because we're going to save them, and then we're just going to pull them out certain teams. But everybody has a film on the Eagles for last year, right? Just like you have it for this year. No one's going to sit there and say, "Oh, because they haven't done these things this year, they're not going to do them." So I wouldn't be opposed to us kind of incorporating those things a little bit in the games. I also like the fact that for the first time this season, we actually saw Dallas Goedert sighting. He actually got a good amount of throws his way, good amount of catches. Had his first game over 100 yards, touchdown. This was more like what I expect from Dallas Goedert. Devontae Smith weren't able to do as much, but what you really do when you play the Eagles is you decide which wide receiver you're going to take away or do your attempt to take away. And I felt like Smith was the one that they focused on and said, we're going to try to, minimize him and see what we can do with the other one. And then Goddard stepping up is a big deal. We did play Quez Watkins, and of course, Quez Watkins did a Quez Watkins. Didn't go get the ball, didn't attack the ball, didn't play defender if he was not going to attack the high point the ball. Allowed interception, but I don't like any player to get hurt. But thankfully, Quez Watkins won't be playing this week because he is going to be on IR. So that means Zacchaeus will actually be playing. That'll be good for the Eagles. I'd like to see more Zacchaeus. Watkins just hasn't impressed me. But overall, I think the team is starting to look slightly, nowhere near where we were last year, but slightly trending more towards that than what we were seeing the first couple of weeks. So we got another game this week. We'll see. And then, of course, we got that game looming next week against those same Dolphins. So, we'll see how things pan out next couple of weeks. And then, of course, we'll move on to the last of the divisional games, and that's the Cowboys game at the 49ers. So big time. What are your thoughts on that game?
Totally ridiculous. Bottom line. One thing so far that the schedules have showed everybody, when the Cowboys win, they win big. And so far this year, when they lose big. It has done it again. Totally outclassed, totally annihilated. Game, just a horrible game planning. I just said something about the Giants and Miami and all this talk that we've heard about, running the football, being physical and all that type of stuff. And I said last week that the 49ers are a bully. And the only way, at least what I learned, the only way that you're going to beat a bully is that you got to hit them in the mouth. You got to let them know you're here. If not, they're gonna destroy you. And I knew in the first 3 drives, we had 3 straight 3-and-outs. I knew we was in trouble, not because we didn't get first downs. It was the way we were running. We only ran the ball twice in 3 drives. And we lined up in shotgun. The whole first 3 drives, didn't get a first down at all. And I'm saying, like, what in the world is this? My offensive line does not need to be pass blocking. They need to hit people so you can start wearing these guys down. So the game really was almost essentially over. We had no creativity. in route running since we want to pass the ball. And until my team decides that they're going to stop trying to make Dak Prescott the MVP of the National Football League, that's when we're going to finally do something. Until then, it's going to be this way, up and down. A lot of this is going to be depending on who we play. But we're not going to beat teams with Dak Prescott lining up in shotgun, trying to pass his way out. We're not creative enough as Mike McCarthy doing that. Then this world-class defense that we supposedly had, they were on the field a whole lot, but they couldn't stop the 49. We did a good job on McCaffrey, but Brock Purdy earned my respect. Got to give him respect, even if everybody say he's a system quarterback. Well, if he's a system quarterback, he runs the system quite well. You know what I'm saying? And he's making his way into an MVP. He's in the MVP conversation because of what he does. And he don't have to do a lot because the 49ers are that good. So we got outclassed. I can go on and on. We got destroyed. It wasn't even close, obviously, by the score. Just a bad night overall in all three phases of the game. Just totally ridiculous.
What about you, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, like what Big Sam said, essentially. I mean, they failed the test. They failed, we always look at these type of games as measure and stick type of games where, you want to test yourself against a team, obviously, like in their case, that they played last year and the last 2 years, they eliminated them. And then you figured, hey, this would have been a great opportunity to see, hey, how do we stack up against them going forward? And it's just one of those, like, we all get these smack in the mouth type of losses. And it's just one of those where, Dallas got to have to respond. I mean, it's just one of those things where, hey, you take a loss like this, and especially y'all, still staying in the West Coast, we're going to find out a lot about this football team in the next few weeks.
Monday night.
Yeah.
We'll find out then.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Great. So we got a couple of comments here. So Dak delusional fans with more excuses says, "Why no Cowboys content creators tell the truth? Dak is the problem." I'm gonna tell you, man. There's one over here that tells the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He just said it. He just said it. When you force a guy, right, and he just let him play within the system in a sense, don't make him be the hero.
Yeah. And then he also says,
right there. It's said, yeah.
He also says it's Eagles, 49ers, or Lions in the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna say this, man. If we're talking about maybe week 12, 13, 14, and Dallas gets beat like this, then maybe you say, oh, Dallas doesn't have a chance. But we're talking about in the first half of the season. A lot of teams are still kind of figuring out who they are overall. The 49ers seem to be a little bit ahead of the curve of most teams. Mm-hmm. So in the NFL, if you start out ahead of the curve, normally what happens is other teams are able to slowly catch up to you, right? And that doesn't mean I'm not saying that, by week 10, everybody's going to be beating the 49ers, but I'm saying a lot of teams are not playing to their best. Look at the Chiefs, you look at the Eagles, you look at the Cowboys, a couple of games, you look at several teams, and they're not giving you, the Bengals, another one, they're not giving you the best version of themselves right now. So what you want to do is be able to say from week to week, win or lose, you take something from every game. And I think Dallas did not go out and just not show up to play. They just got in a situation where they got down early. The defense got a little bit under duress, maybe a little frustration, and then things started just unraveling a little bit. That's happened to every team in the history of football, right? It's not like this is the first time this has ever happened. If you're a Dallas fan, it's unfortunate. You don't like the way it tastes right now. I've been on this side. I've been on the Dallas side of this before as an Eagles fan several times, but you just pick it up, you flush that game, you go out the next week, and you try to make something happen. They got a chance, Monday, like Big Tom was saying, against the Chargers. We'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. But, you don't dwell on that, man. You make the move, and you go forward.
And to add to that, that's what's crazy about San Francisco, where normally they're the inverse, where they usually start off slow and then have a late season run. So this is kind of a interesting thing, as far as interesting duality with this team, for sure.
Yeah. And can they keep it up all season? Are they going to be as hot in week 17 as they are right now?
The answer to that would be no, because
No.
as you said, when you throw in the injury thing, and no, certainly not saying somebody will be injured, but we done seen it way too many times. The unknown of injuries, and then, as Cool said, people catch up with you. And then most importantly, I've never really seen a team start off like this and then don't fizzle out at the end, even if that means they make it to the Super Bowl. It's just automatic. It's just too much tape. You got too many smart guys that know how to take away what you do best. And it's early. It's only week, at that time, it's only week 5. Right. So how many times have we seen, and this go for everybody, I'm not just saying because it's Dallas, I'm just saying, how many times have we seen a team who struggled or whatever, and then all of a sudden in the last 3 to 4 weeks of the season, they get hot, and you'll have a wild card team representing the conference in the Super Bowl. I done seen it way too many times. Yep. So you can't judge a season off week 5. We still got, good Lord, everybody still has at least 12 more games to play. So we can't, it's just a bad night.
Yeah, it's gonna be ups and downs, man. That's the ebbs and flow of a season.
Yep. Yeah, you just failed the test 1 week, and hey, you just go fight another week. Yo, it happens. Trust me, we all know.
All right, so Eastside Harold 2.0 says, "Go Astros, Texans, and Rockets."
The cheaters. Now let me be quiet. Yeah,
I am not having a baseball conversation.
Nats, go Nats.
Don't talk to me about baseball for the next week. Don't even talk to me about baseball. It's
2019 Eastside Herald. 2019.
Baseball doesn't exist until next weekend.
Right.
I'm done. I'm on a hiatus. But yeah, man. So the next thing we'll move on to is just a couple of questions in regards to trades, free agency, that type of thing. So maybe players you can add. So I'll actually go first on this one. So question that you guys can think about. You might already be ready, but if you need a few minutes to think about it, if you could add a player on the market, who would it be? And then we're breaking it down 2 categories. What free agent would you add and why? And then what trade target would you like for your team? So just one player, one free agent, and then one trade target. And then we'll talk about some buyer sales overall. But just if you could add, one free agent and then one trade target. So for my free agent, I would add a wide receiver. And I would add a wide receiver by the name of Julio Jones. Julio's an older receiver. He's not a guy that's going to be around for another 4 or 5 years. But in the slot, as a 3rd or 4th wide receiver, I think Julio Jones would be a great mentor to bring in for some of these young guys that are not playing well. And also another guy that can help mentor Devontae Smith, and even a guy that can, walk up to A.J. Brown and say, "Hey, A.J., do this," you know what I'm saying? Take this step, then do that, kind of give A.J. a little bit too. So another established wide receiver in that wide receiver room that has had some success. Not going to require a whole lot of playing time, but if needed to be called upon, because we always know how injuries is, you might can regain those glory days for a couple of weeks. So I'd like that type of player, to be added to the Philadelphia Eagles via free agency, because we don't have enough wide receivers. Like, we just don't. And there's guys out there, and he's not the only one, but there's guys out there that could help a team like Philadelphia. And this would be the guy that I would choose if I could to go out and get just via free agency, not on a team or anything right now. Mm-hmm. Now, we're talking a player on a team. He may even be in the list later, but it doesn't matter. I would like a gentleman that is on the Arizona Cardinals. Derek Barnett would be a great pickup for the Arizona Cardinals, and maybe a mid-round pick. Go ahead and let's get Budda Baker when he's healthy, because, we can't trade him until he gets off IR in a couple of weeks. But I would love to have Budda Baker on the Philadelphia Eagles. Mm. We need a safety, and there's other guys out there, but I like the way Budda Baker plays. I'd like to get him over in Philadelphia. Mm. All right. You ready, big time? Or you want Couch Cups to go?
He can go. Couch can go. But
go ahead, Couch.
All right. So this, okay. Free agent wise, I want to kick the tires on your boy big time, La'el Collins. I want to kick the tires on him. Obviously, we got some issues on the offensive line. I definitely think he could definitely be an added addition to this offensive line that we have here. So I would definitely, he's a young guy. I know he kind of has had his issues in Dallas and also in Cincinnati. So, hopefully, maybe he can kind of turn the tide in, Washington. Hey, it's free agency. I know I'm not going to get top tier. He can be the $5 DVD that could be an Academy Award winning movie in our situation in Washington. Now, free agency. This is how we all been there. We got have mamas and say, hey, what you need versus want. For Christmas you need a coat, but you want a PlayStation 5. So the coat is gonna be Garrett Bowles. We need a Garrett Bowles. As far as get a great left tackle. Obviously, I think he definitely would be a better upgrade than Charles Leno at this point. Now, the PlayStation 5 that I want, Patrick Surtain the third. Patrick Surtain the second. Patrick Surtain the second. Like I said, we need cornerback help as well. We got a good corner situation, but I think need versus want. This a PlayStation. I know I need the code. No, I can, but part of me is like, we know Denver is pretty much doing a fire sale, and I don't know. I know, from what they're saying, anybody's available. So if you put him in the yard sale at Saturday at 9:30 in the morning, I'm gonna be at your house at 7:00 putting dibs on that item.
Wow. Is that my show now? I don't know.
It's all you, big time.
Well,
you now.
This ain't gonna take long. And I'll come from a realistic standpoint. I don't want to do things. Number one, if you know your team like I know it, we're not gonna get a superstar. Even though I might like that, so I'm not even about to go that route. When LVE went down in the game, and then they said it was his neck again, it's a real question if he even gonna play again, to be honest with you. And if he does, they're gonna be so cautious. We got safeties playing linebacker. That works. It's not gonna work when you're running the ball. That's not gonna work when you got big guards and centers coming on the second level, busting you in your mouth, and they outweigh you by 70 pounds. It's just not gonna work. So my whole thing is we need linebackers. That's it. The Cowboys went after and got one. And Rashad Evans, cool. I know you know about it. I don't know. I don't understand. And cool, maybe you can help me out there, because I've been trying to figure out why is this guy on the streets. I just didn't understand it. Former first-round pick, from Alabama, All-American at Alabama, a hitting machine. I don't know what the problem was. Why is he on the streets, and why is he even on the practice squad? He's not old. He's young. I don't understand that, but that's my whole wish. So I don't know who all the linebackers are, but we need help there, because we're real thin there. We're very thin. And that's what we need. They don't have to be superstars. They just need to be solid. If I can get some solid linebacker play, I got superstars everywhere else. We'll be good. So I don't know, cool. Maybe you can help me out there, because I've been trying to figure him out. Why is this man wasn't on the team? I can understand why maybe he didn't make your team, because y'all got linebackers there. But I don't. Why he gets so cut so easily?
That's been a question of mine. We could have used another linebacker the last couple of weeks, right? So yeah. I don't know. The only thing I can figure, because I didn't really hear a lot of negative things about him, the only thing I can figure is they just didn't fit the system. Is the only thing I can guess, and I don't understand why other teams haven't at least put a flyer out on him. So we'll see how things go with him. But that was the other guy I was looking at, like, he really out there? But then I was like, you know what? I feel like with us getting our quarterback for the defense back in Kobe Dean, we're really good on linebacker, at least for the moment. So that's why I went with wide receiver. But yeah, that's a good question, big time. I really don't have a solid answer for that one. Perplexed by it myself as well.
Yeah, so I just think that that's the area that we need more than anything is linebacker depth, not another Pro Bowl linebacker, not an All Pro. I mean, if it turn into that, so be it. But right now, we need depth because, as I just said, we got safeties playing linebacker. That's not going to work down the line. It might work for 1 or 2 games like it worked before, but it's not going to work down the line. So we need linebacker depth.
I'm with you on that one. So Rob Carlton, what's up? Rob says, "Give me Justin Simmons." He's an Eagle fan as well. And then Sam says, "Fly Eagles fly." Thought I put Rob Cartman up, but I didn't. My bad, Rob. And then 8 Pizzle says, "Our line ain't the problem; it's the coaching." Shady Sports says, "Hit that like button," and I'm gonna also add while you're hitting that like button, you can go ahead and hit that share button. We like that one as well. And then A Pizzle again says, "Sounds like you're going to be freezing playing your PlayStation." But yeah, so the next thing we'll get into, guys, is just it's a buy or sell segment. So we're gonna list out a team and we're gonna list out the individual players, and we just go around the horn. And if you think that this player is somebody that the team should look into, you can buy it. If you think that it's somebody that they shouldn't look into or they won't look into, you can sell it. So we'll start with the Eagles as buyers. So the Eagles need, of course, safety and pass rush because we can never have enough pass rushes in Philadelphia. If we have 12, we need 15. If we have 15, we need 18. So we never can have enough. But so the players, Justin Simmons, big time, we'll go you, then Couch Coach, then me. Justin Simmons, what do you have? Buy or sell Justin Simmons?
For the Eagles?
Yes, sir.
Buy. I mean, you just said it best. This is a time when, if you're really going after a world's championship, hey, stack the deck. If you want the ring, it's the general manager's job to get the best players. And if you're all in, as they say, if you're all in, then go get it. Let me answer that, Anthony Price, if you don't mind. I see his comment there. Frank Clark just signed back with the Chiefs, so you can kill that. He's already with the Chiefs. So yeah, who wouldn't want Frank Clark?
Right. Yeah, I seen that. I'm like, I seen that yesterday. I'm like, Howie?
Yeah, the Chiefs jumped on him rather quickly, so you can forget that. But when you start talking about that, if you really want a championship, go get championship type players. So I would buy.
What about you, Couch Coach?
Oh yeah, buy. What them kids do on TikTok with the credit card? Oh yeah, of course, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. If he's there, hey, buy.
And I'll make it 3 for 3. Definitely buy. I know that he's one of the people that are available. Howie,
make the move.
All I got to say about that one. All right, so the next person on the list for the Eagles, Jeremy Chin. What do you think, big time? Buy or sell?
I'm mixed up. What does he play?
He plays. So he's really a hybrid player.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's not listed.
He plays. He can't play safety. He can play safety. He can play some linebacker as well.
I would buy based off of the injury history of Nakobe Dean. You can't really depend on Dean as of right now. That's what he's shown more than anything, that he stays injured. And if you can get a guy that has a little flex in him as far as position wise, I think, cool, you just said it, that y'all need a safety. And then with linebacker play, you said you need a linebacker. Well, you You can knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. With him, not saying that he's again an all-pro, but if he can play, you may have just solved a big problem with just one person. I would buy.
Yep, and there's been some rumors that we're going to acquire about him. He was a guy, FYI, in the draft that Howie was interested in getting, but he ended up drafting Jalen Hurts with that pick instead. So I would say, based on so far, we made the right choice, but this definitely makes sense that you would look at a guy like Jeremy Chin. Also buying this one. What you got, Couch?
Oh yeah, you buy. I mean, especially just that flexibility that he can give you, and and that's one thing too, where he can, he can have that opportunity where he can be like a spy on your defense. Like, absolutely, buy.
Definitely.
And let's throw this in. Let me throw this in, cool, real quick.
Go ahead.
Even if you have to trade picks, it may not cost you that much. I mean, considering the fact that the Eagles are going to be drafting in every round unless you trade up. They're going to be drafting at the lower part of the draft anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even if you trade away a 5th maybe or even a 6th, I mean, they're not going to hurt you because this guy will be around for a couple more years and y'all are primed in position to be competitive for about the next, 2-3 years, obviously.
Yep.
So that the cost ain't so high once you really look at it.
True story. So the next one is another safety, Kareem Jackson, also with the Denver Broncos. Big time, you buy or sell Kareem Jackson.
He's super talented, but I'm sorry. I'm looking at it from a technical standpoint. I don't know how, I don't have Sports Track in front of me. I don't know how long he has in his contract. And that's really would be my decision, my thing. Like, if you got a contract maybe for about 2 years or so remaining, I might go pull the trigger on that one as well. But if he's like in his last year or something like that, I'll let him walk because he's good enough that he's going to command a little money, not crazy money, but he's talented. He can play. So I pay. It just all depends on where he is in his contract. That's my answer.
Well, the quick thing I can tell you about him is he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So he's been around since 2010.
I wouldn't.
So I'm gonna sell just because
he's a little older. Yeah.
He's a little bit older, and we're already having the issues with Mr. Slay. And his age kind of starting to catch up a little bit with the knee injury this week, those type of things. So I'm going to sell because I agree with Big Time. I think if he was a little bit younger, we may be a guy we look after. If we're looking for a 1-year plug and play, then I would be fine as long as we don't give up anything over a 6 for him. But if we're looking for a guy that may be part of the team moving forward, I'll probably go in another direction.
Yep.
What about you, Couch?
Yeah, sell. And then obviously he put that little sucker shot on my boy Logan Thomas a few weeks ago. So, yeah.
Couch say, we ain't doing that. No, sir.
He 35.
Is he that old?
Yeah.
Kareem Jackson 35 years old.
I thought he was way younger than that.
I mean, I guess, 2000 and I know because I was thinking like 2010, almost 14 years ago.
Yep.
We're not even bringing that to the table.
We're definitely selling. Yeah, let me get a refund. Let me call the credit card company. Let me resend this.
Can he run? Can he still run? I mean, I'm not trying to check. I'm saying, does he have the range like a safety still has or supposed to have? I mean, in other words, is he more of a liability being on the field if he ain't got no range? I mean,
he been solid so far, but inevitably there's this person you cannot defeat called Father Time. And he is definitely coming for him. He ain't quite got him yet, but he's definitely coming for him.
He definitely not LeBron James.
When you as old as some of your position coaches, you might need to think about something else, though.
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah, y'all would have to go together.
You might need to think about becoming one.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. How old is y'all? How old is your head coach? Cool.
He is not
How
that
old
much
is he?
older than that.
That's
Let
what
me
I'm
see how-
saying.
Yeah, he in his 30s. Let me
Oh.
see. He might be older than my head coach. Let me look real quick.
He probably is.
He might be older than Sirianni.
Exactly. You don't need
That's
to get
crazy.
a guy that's older than you, man. No. Sirianni can't be no older than about 36, 37 years old. Can't be.
I didn't even know he was this old. Nick Sirianni's 42.
Oh, he don't.
Yeah,
He
I
just
didn't know
look
he was
young.
42. Yeah, I didn't know he
just
was that
look
old.
Yeah, he just look young.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nick, you a little bit older than I thought, buddy.
I know, right?
I thought we was going to be looking at like 32, 33.
I know, right?
But that does make sense if you actually think about it, because he's been a
Yeah.
position coach, OC and stuff. But it makes sense.
Been
But
around.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by that one, though. All right, so the next guy we got, Brian Burns. He's a linebacker, also from the Panthers, who might be having a fire sale because they look like the worst team in the league, not the Cardinals. What do you think? We're gonna go couch coach. We'll go with you first on this. So what do you think, Brian Burns?
Hey, like I said, the yard sale started at 9:00. Oh, I put my deposit down at 7:30 a.m. I'm buying this one. And he has youth on his side. Yeah. Yes. And I think he was a guy that I thought could eventually be like a defensive player of the year down the line. And you can get him at this rate. Buy. I put in a deposit. So much I want to buy. I want to buy so bad that I wanted to put a deposit down.
That makes sense. What about you, Big Time?
It's a no-brainer for the Eagles. Like I said, I'm just going off what you said, Cool. You say you need a little linebacker play. Kid is young. He's a hitting machine. Not scared to put his hat in there. I think it's a no-brainer. No question.
So AP says Burns playing too good. His pay tag is going up. He's only 25 years old. So, hey, I get it. But at the same time, man, you got to pay somebody. The cap is going up. You got to pay somebody.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
at this point.
Well, I'm just saying from Philadelphia Eagles standpoint, they put this team together the last 2 years or so with one goal in mind, to win.
Yep.
Right.
And if that is the goal, then you need to maximize as much as you can to try to get there and try to win. So I think it's a no-brainer. You're trying to stack the deck as much as you can. You're close to a world championship, and you got to go get it. So sometimes all you need is that one player or so that'll get you over the hump, and they don't necessarily have to be a Pro Bowl or All-Pro, all that. It could just be a real solid player to go along with the superstars that you already have on the team, and that somebody got to do the dirty work, and he looked like he can do it. But like you said, Couch, this dude can actually be a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? Right. He can be one. So
and then even with that, you look at it from the standpoint of, oh God, what I was going to say. When you look at it just from this standpoint, I mean, why not? I mean, because he could be literally like when we look at the Rams, how Von Miller was a difference of them winning that Super Bowl. He has that type of ability, I think, and he's even better. Like, so yeah, absolutely. I said put a deposit down.
I see, Anthony. Well, right there. Let me throw that in, Anthony Price. The Rams did do it, and of course they lost a lot. But trust me, they're very happy that they won that Super Bowl. and if it's one trophy, that as long as you get it, we win it. We decided to go all in this one year, and we cashed in, and we got the reward. They're happy for the next 20 years. So depending on your fan base, your fan base is super happy, even with the one. And I'm not trying to check, but look at the Philadelphia Eagles with Nick Foles. They still talking about them, and they still holds weight. That Super Bowl victory holds weight. So the Rams are very happy. They're happy with that one win. Trust me.
In case in point, do we remember the Rams record last year? But we know they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Hey, I'm with it. Like, if we can get the right players and win the Super Bowl, if we garbage for the next 2 or 3 years, I'll be garbage, pale trash. Talking about that ring we got. You know what I'm saying?
In the words of Joe Namath, I don't care about the Eagles struggling.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to win.
Win.
Al Davis, just win, baby. Worry about the consequences later. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
After salary cap, you know.
Exactly. So Buda Baker. I mean, I already put a yes on it. So all I can say is bye.
Flip. He said the yard sale at 9:00. Oh, I'm in my car at 8:30 a.m. Friday night. Sign me up. Put a deposit. You know. Yeah. Bye.
That's what I just said. That type of player, that's a guarantee get you over the hump. That's the kind of player he is. You don't get chances to add all pros to your team. You rarely get chances to do it. It might cost you a little bit, but the reward is greater than the risk. If this guy is my final piece and say, okay, it almost reminds me of the 49ers in 94 and then the Cowboys in 95. The 49ers in 94 said, we get Dion, we're winning the Super Bowl. Very next year, the Cowboys said, okay, the 49ers won the Super Bowl. The only way we're going to get it back is unless we get Dion. And if we get Dion, we'll win the Super Bowl. That one player made the difference. So I'm all for that.
And then we got Jalen Mills, the Green Goblin. He's been in Philly before. I mean, he's not going to be a top player, but you know, he may be a piece. I'm going to sell it though.
I'll sell it as well. I can get younger there.
Right.
Yeah. I sell it as well.
All right. And then lastly, we have Von Bell. Von Bell's an interesting one. Me as a safety, right? But I think I'd still take him. I think I'd take him because he's kind of in that middle ground, right? He signed a 3-year contract, I think like last year. So he got a couple of years left. Veteran, knows how to play. So I would trepidatiously buy this one. This would be like a tier 2 buy, but I would buy.
He's a solid player. It won't hurt if you had him. My whole thing would be what would be the price. That would be my determining factor. What is the price for getting him? So I don't know what that would. What would that be?
Makes sense. About you, Couch?
Yeah. I think I might sell this one. A little bit, yeah. Kind of bullish on it for a little bit.
Fair enough. All right, so then we do have the Washington Commanders as buyers as well. All right, so offensive line. All right, so the first guy we have is Garrett Bowles. So, Couch, would you buy or sell Garrett Bowles for your Washington Commanders?
I would buy, especially that left tackle position. I definitely think we need, obviously, like I said, he would be an upgrade to what we have in Charles Leno. The only my concern is his age. He's 31. And we're gonna have a theme with my bevy of choices that you guys gave us that we were provided with. They're all at a certain age. It kind of makes it a little bit tricky as far as the market. But in his case, I would buy, because we definitely need that left tackle position definitely needs to be solidified for sure.
My only question would be, since he is 31 years old, I'm coming again from a realistic standpoint. I would like to know his injury history. If his injury history is pretty decent, then coach is right. He is an upgrade. Then if you're getting your brains beat out from the left tackle position, you got to do something. But I would like to know what's his injury history.
I think he's been remarkably healthy.
Yeah, he's been a pretty solid guy. I would definitely buy on Gary Bowles.
Pull the trigger.
I would definitely buy. All right. So next we have another offensive lineman, Taylor Moton. What do you think, House Coach?
Taylor Moton, he's from the Carolina Panthers. I think he's younger. I think, is he 28? I forgot what was. I think he was 28. My memory serves correct. He's 29. I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, you think to yourself, he is, he plays the tackle position. So part of me is like, we do need something in that situation, because I'm not sure if he's a hybrid, like as far as he played both ends, right or left. I'm assuming he could be somewhat of that, fill that void. But a part of me, I'm looking at like our tackles. If they can replace a guy like Andrew Wiley, I'm gonna buy. Even though he was a part of the Eric Bieniemy system, he came over here to kind of get the guys acquiesced to the offense. I would buy this one. He would be an upgrade to Andrew Wiley.
What about you, Big Tom?
What's the price? I think he can definitely play. But if we're talking about trading, I'm not paying a steep price for him. At this point in time, if we're talking about linemen for Washington, I lean on coach's expertise about his team, but I'm getting the vibe that they need upgrades. So the question is to do the upgrade from what you already have, and you don't want to give up on the kid when he's right at the doorstep. I mean, is there really a gap there if you add this guy, or are you giving up too quick on a guy that's already in the lineup? So I really don't even know some of these guys that they're calling out, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't.
I feel it. So A Puzzle says, "Give me Joe Noteboom, I'll be happy."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sell this, and the reason I'm gonna sell this is I know he's been graded well and he plays good, but he is on the most porous offensive line, in my opinion, if not the second worst in the NFL. So I understand the stats, some of the things that are measurements look good, but I don't want to trust the guy that's on that line. I see Carolina Panther lineman by your name, I'm not even calling you. That's just real. I'm gonna need you to go somewhere else and then come to me. I can't take you from Carolina. The Tyler number 2 looked like he about to just get hurt every week back there. I mean, he running for his life, literally. He back there in his head, all my life, running all my life. Because it ain't no joke back there for him. So I can't take someone from that line and feel good about it. No matter how they're graded, I just can't do it. So next we have Austin Corbett. What do you think, Coach? We're gonna go with usage. This is lineman, and it is your Commanders.
I'm gonna sell it. He plays a guard position. I think he's with Patriots. Remember, so correct. I think he with the Patriots, but it's here nor there. I think I still think, you know, like we talked about, there are some weaknesses in this line. I still do believe in the promise of Sadiq Charles and Sam Cosmi, our younger O-line, younger guards. So I'm gonna sell this one.
So FYI, Couch Coach, he's always also from the Panthers. He's on the PUP list from an ACL injury. And as I said before, if you are on that line, whether you're playing or not, last year wasn't good either. I'm selling you, so I'm selling him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm telling my credit card. I didn't buy this. I didn't make this purchase.
Wow. Big time. What about you?
Sale. That's all I can say.
Unanimous.
Yeah, that's an easy one there.
Unanimous sale.
Yeah.
All right. So this is an offensive lineman from the Patriots, Trent Brown. Buying and selling, Couch Coach.
He's another one. He's 30. I'm that's this one where I'm really conflicted, because I definitely think at 30, and even though we made it, you know, for case for Gary Bowles, and I think he can be an exception to the rule. You know what? I say buy. I think he's at least worth kicking the tires for and seeing what's up with him.
I'll go with the big time approach on this one. I'm gonna buy, but if the price is right, if they're asking too much for him, he can stay where he's at. But if it's in a reasonable request deal that they're wanting for him, a reasonable package, I'll buy.
If it's too many questions, if we were playing spades right now on the card table, we would say if you study long, you study wrong. And I think that he, you know, if you got all these questions here, that's a tell sign that you might need to let it go. And again, don't mean to sound repetitive, but when you start talking about trades, you know, how much are you really going to have to give up, especially if you're a team that likes to draft and have all of your, you know, as many draft picks as you can. And I don't want to give it up for, you know, a solid player that really has, well, I ain't going to say a solid player, but a what-if guy. It could go either way, and then, you know, is it really an upgrade? So that's my criteria.
Fair enough. And then, of course, A. Pizzle said Trent Brown, in the words of Big Time, depends on the price. And Big Time just so eloquently stated that as well. So we're going to go to the last buyer in the division, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. So, of course, for you, Big Time, we're looking at linebackers. So the first one we have is Jawan Bentley.
Bentley is pretty. He's drafted in 18. Really a solid, you know, I say a solid player. He come from the Patriots. But to make a long story short, no, I wouldn't get him. I don't know how solid he is, and then I got to use my common sense, because he's not that old, he's not that young, but he's not. I'm saying, I don't want to sound wishy-washy, but when Bill Belichick is considering trading you, we got to read into that, because he don't trade away defensive players, you know, just to be trading them away. It's usually a reason why. So if he was on the block, I wouldn't, you know, if Belichick is so easy to give him up, then I need to know why, for real. So sell, in other words, make a long story short.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely be on board with you with that sale. What about you, Coach?
Same here. If Bill want to get rid of you, it's a red flag. And it's something where buyer beware. Now I'm good.
So the question was posed: what round draft pick would you trade for him? So what are you talking about? So you must be talking about, I would assume, Trent Brown here. For me, I would say a 6th, maybe a 5th, maybe, but probably a 6.
Yeah.
Anything above that?
Yeah,
anything above that?
Yeah.
We can keep it pushing real quick. All right. So the next guy on the list is Raekwon McMillan.
Sale. The man has had an Achilles injury. Hard to get all that back, especially at the linebacker position. It's really nothing for me to say. He's just a little bit older. No way.
And it was at OTAs. I'm definitely selling.
Yeah, it's not even worth talking about.
Yeah, selling as well. Appreciate you big time for the Carfaxes. No, thank you. I'm good.
Exactly.
All right, and then we got big time Anthony Jennings.
Again, I believe he's with the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
You know, if he's on the block for real, again, I'm saying the same thing because Belichick keeps his players, especially those that are real contributors or solid contributors. He rarely gets rid of you. So for him to be there, it's a reason why, if he is on the chopping block. So I wouldn't, just some things you just trust. And Bill Belichick, I trust. So that's another sale.
I'm with you. What about you, Couch Coach?
Same here. If Bill don't want you, the league don't want you.
All right, and then we're going to the next one. Is Josie Jewell, and he's a linebacker for the Denver Broncos.
I didn't know anything about him before until recently. That's another sale for me because he stays hurt. He stays more on the injury report than he does on the football field. I already got LVE out. I don't need to go get another guy that's going to be on the injury reserve or something like that. Those, let him stay where he at.
I agree. He's great when he plays, but you've already got a guy that's great when he plays that can't stay healthy. So why do it again?
Exactly.
What about you, Couch Coach?
Yeah, if you stay in the tub, you can't be in the club. If you stay in the tub, you can't make the club. So for sure, I sell.
Couch Coach isms. Y'all got to tune in to catch them Couch Coach isms. All right, so got one here. Zaven Collins. He had an eye injury, but he's a linebacker from the Arizona Cardinals. What do you think about him, big time?
I might consider this one slightly, even though he's hurt. His upside is there, but I will say it's looking like he's a little fragile. He also had a shoulder injury against the Packers, I believe. And you're playing linebacker, so you got to use your shoulders. And if you as young as he is, it's crazy. And like you said about the eye injury, and then he played against us, and he left against the game that we played. So again, we're talking about a guy who stays hurt, but you might want to consider it because he was a first-round pick. Obviously, because he's a first-round pick, there's something there. As a matter of fact, there's a lot there. Linebackers in the first round, that's pretty good. So the question then becomes again on that what is the price going to be for a first round pick.
Right.
And based off that would determine what I would do for that. That's all I get. So I don't know. I can't say buy or sell. I can't say it. Well, if he make me do it, I would buy. Let me just put it that way. If I had to, I would buy.
I'm gonna sell on him,
Mm-hmm.
but I could possibly put him in low tier buy, but I'm gonna sell on him. What about you, Couch?
I agree. I would sell it as well, but like it's kind of worth kicking the tires. But I still say sell.
All right, so we're gonna go to Kaiser White next, another linebacker from the Arizona Cardinals, formerly with the Philadelphia Eagles as well. What do you think about Kaiser White, big time?
I would say he's just too small for me. I you know, I'm looking at his stats right now, and he has 27 solo tackles, 20 assists, 1 sack, 1 interception. He's only had total 47 snaps. Not great. I'm looking at his per game. He had, his biggest production game was against us, of course, 8 solo tackles, 6 assists. So obviously he's around the football, but he's just too small. But I guess the counter would be okay if he's small, he's fast, and he seems to be always around the ball. But for the Cowboys though, and where we are right now, I would probably say, it's worth looking into. So if I had it because I'm desperate for depth, I would say buy.
All right, what about you, Couch Coach?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Big Ten. Like in the name of depth, yeah, I would. It's another one where I would keep the tires, but more lean towards buying it.
So I will buy this one, right? So he's 6'2", 234.
Mm-hmm.
He was a pivotal piece on Philly. I don't know how in the world they let him get out of this building without being signed back the way he played for us last year. He was a great steadying force. He was one of the 2 guys that kept Nakobe Dean off the field, right? Nakobe could only get on when one of our 2 linebackers last year were hurt or needed a break because of how well they played. I thought he was a really good player at the Chargers before us. He just didn't get a chance because so many other linebackers were before him. He played well for us. Made a bad move, I think, in going to Arizona. He did follow his DC, but I think in a better situation, you could get a lot more out of Kaiser White with better talent around him. I would definitely buy him. If I were Dallas, I would definitely buy Kaiser White.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the last buy for the Dallas Cowboys, we got Jordan Hicks. Big time, would you buy or sell Jordan Hicks?
Sale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 career seasons in the league. Too old now. I will give him credit, however, that he's durable. Since 2019, in 2019 he played 16 games, 2020 16 games, 2021 17 games, 2022 17 games, and so far he's played all games so far this year. And in those from 2019 to 2022, he had he's approaching the 100. He's productive. So it tells you that he's solid, but he's a little bit too old. I don't need more young. We need to get young there. We don't need to get old. So I would sell just for that.
Yeah, I would sell Jordan Hicks. Like you said, been around for the wall, getting a little long in the tooth. Was never really great player. He was a solid player, but
Solid.
I would definitely sell it. Yeah, I would definitely sell him as well at this point. And want to shout out Mo real quick. What's going on, Mo? Appreciate you checking with us as well. Couch Coach, what do you think, Jordan Hicks?
Okay. Yeah, I would sell as well, just due to, like you said, the age and just the fit of the system for you. I mean, for you guys, you know, if it was like a quick, you know, somebody that you could just, you could have him fill your void, have a cup of coffee and dip. But nah, you want him for the long term, so I would sell.
All right. So then we've got the Giants as a seller on for the purposes of this list. So I'm gonna just run through these players real quick. We just do a yes or no if you think that they would actually make a move. If you think they'll make a move, buy. If they won't make a move, well, if you think they'll make a move, buy. Yeah. If you don't think they'll make a move, sell. So do you think the Giants will trade Darius Slayton?
No.
What about you, Coach?
I say no. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell that one. I don't think that they'll make that move. What about Darren Waller?
Yes, I think they would because he's valuable and you can get something for him. And the Giants ain't going nowhere, as far as I'm concerned. It'd be good to have some more picks.
What about you, Couch Coach?
I say yes / should. I think it's recommended. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to buy this one. I definitely would trade him as well. And then Saquon Barkley.
No. You got to keep somebody there. You want to be somewhat competitive, or people gonna start losing their jobs if you trade away Waller and Barkley. Got to get a coach a chance before you fire him. Trading away Saquon, you're giving it all away. I mean, you would get something for him, though. Ain't no doubt about that. But I don't know.
What you got, Coach?
I say no.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say you tear it down, burn it down. It ain't going to work. The only person that you're probably going to have to keep, because nobody's going to want him, is Daniel Jones. So since you have to keep Daniel Jones, you need to put young, elite talent around him. I'm going to burn it down. I'm going to trade him too. Everybody that I can get something for that's over 4 years of experience on this team or that I would have to pay, you can go. Because we're not going to be good. So why keep you and why pay you? So next we got a Dory Jackson. What do you think about a Dory Jackson, big time?
You're gonna get something for him. And if you really talking about burning it down, that's how you. I mean, even with the players they have, the Giants may be on their way to a top 12 pick anyway, with Waller, with Barkley. But if you start trading some of these pieces away, you're gonna get into the top 10. And that's gonna happen. So, and you're gonna get a little extra as well with some of these guys, like a Dory Jackson, who will bring an extra pick or so. So yeah, I would trade Jackson.
And Jack Guilford says yes, trade Barkley as well. What about you, Couch Coach?
I say yes, it'll happen. And I think for the fact, like you said, accumulating picks, and then hopefully you can parlay that into just a top pick, or you just keep it as is and just acquire, some guy, acquire some bookend guys for your squad.
Yeah, you're not going to get a number one pick. The Panthers are making sure that they get a Bears that. So everybody else is fighting for later picks. Yeah. Boy, I say it's tough to be bad the year where you didn't gave up your first round pick. Boy, that's tough. That is tough. Yeah. But hence, that's the situation they find themselves in. I also agree that Dory Jackson will holler at you too. And then last, Leonard Williams.
Oof. No. It's like I said, I understand the term. I understand tearing it all down, but why tear it all down when you're gonna be in the top 10, probably picking anyway? You need to keep somebody in there to add on to what you already got to make it even better. So, based off that, no, I wouldn't give away Williams.
What do you think, Couch Coach?
If we burn it down to the ground, yes.
For this one, I'm gonna actually agree with big time because he's an in the trenches guy, right? I believe you keep the in the trenches guy because you're gonna bring in young in the trenches guy, and you need someone there to be like the mentor for them, to show them how to be a professional, teach them how to play. So I would keep him for that purpose, but the rest of them, burn it down. All right, so we'll hop on to our previews for the games for this week, and then, even though we were here for a little bit of a long time, it was still a good time, and we're gonna be out after that. So we'll start with our first game for the week in chronological order. Use a big word today. We got the Washington Commanders versus the Atlanta Falcons. Willett, you go first, Couch, since you are the Commanders guy. Who do you have winning this game and why?
They had to watch the Commanders rebounding in this matchup. Obviously, you look at a situation with the Atlanta Falcons, their pass rush is not the best. I think they've only had 5 sacks on the season. I think this will give us a great opportunity for Sam Howell to essentially have a clean jersey probably for the first time since going back to Carolina. So I look at a situation where I think he'll be great. I think Terry is due for a game. Also, Curtis Samuel's due for a game as well. The only problem I think we might deal with is I think, us that having that linebacker depth, I can see a situation where Kyle Pitts goes off. I think even with him going off and doing his thing, Washington will win this football game.
All right. What about you, Big Tom?
I think Washington will pull it off. I think if they go ahead and settle in and start really running the ball, they have a 2-back system. They're just not using it like I think they should. But I got a feeling sooner or later that's what's going to happen. And I think this might be the start of it. And based off Robinson and Gibson getting the ball, I believe they'll pull it off.
Yeah. The Commanders are going to face a heck of a defense in the Falcons, right? But the Commanders defense is going to face Desmond Ridder. And if you caught it in my shows, you know how I feel about Desmond Ridder. I just don't think that he's a starter in the NFL. And I think that when you have that guy as your quarterback, you always give the other team extra opportunities to win a game. Whether they can capitalize or not is up to them. I think the Commanders will be able to do enough to win this game and start to turn things around. Had a tough stretch, but I think, you come out on the other end, you really kind of take it out on somebody that you feel like you may be a little bit better or in the same skill level as, and I think that's what we're going to see from the Commanders this week. All right, and then we'll move on to the Eagles versus the Jets. I'll just go first real quick. The Jets have a good defense. Zach Wilson does look better than previously advertised, right? I mean, still doesn't look great. And this was a one-game sample, but he did look like he was at least a backup quarterback in the NFL this past week. So I think they want to build on that. But the problem is we have some guys out, but they have a very key piece that is not going to play. You take Sauce Gardner out, that's a different defense. He's in the concussion protocol. He's not going to be able to play. Obviously, we're missing, some players as well. Primarily, Big Play Slay is not going to be able to go this week. and neither is Jalen Carter. So that's going to make things a little easier for them on the line because Jalen Carter has been a man-child, a beast, a monster. So that takes a little bit of that concern away from them, a little bit of that pressure. But there's other guys that can still play on Philadelphia. And Fletcher Cox will be back. So I think Eagles won't be as dominant on the line as they have been without Carter, but they'll still be very good. We'll attack. We'll make Zach Wilson see one thing and give him something different, and we'll be able to get him to give us a few plays, and I think we'll be able to get a win. I'm not predicting a blowout of any kind because I don't believe we're at the point where we're blowing teams out yet, but I think we'll be comfortable in the win this week.
Yeah. I can go real quick because it's not going to take long. Sauce is not playing. The Jets are not the same. It's just that simple. I think one of your receivers is going to have a huge game over there. The only chance that I give the Jets is unless they, which is obviously that game plan. They don't want to put it in Wilson's hand, but they're going to have to get Dalvin Cook involved along with Hall. They a two-back running system, especially with Carter gone, that's really your only chance is to slow them down, keep them off the field, have a strong running game. That's really their only chance. So I think that finally Dalvin Cook might be a little bit more involved than what he's been so far this year. That's the only chance to have.
Yeah, Coach.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to take the very, very short trip up to the Meadowlands to take care, MetLife, and take care of business. I definitely think, I don't think it's going to be like a blow up, like you said. I definitely think it's going to be a situation where I think you guys have a great opportunity to win this football game. And I think get to Zach Wilson, get him a little flustered. And like I said, no sauce. I think guys, the White House going to eat. So I definitely think you guys going to remain undefeated for now.
Hey, I'll take it. All right. And then, of course, we have the Giants, and they are going to be taking on the Bills on Sunday Night Football. I'll just quickly say it's another tough week for the Giants. Another reason why they should start selling. I don't see them getting a victory in this game.
Nothing to talk about. The only thing to talk about is unless Josh Allen turns into turnover Josh Allen. That's the only hope. That's the only hope they have. Yeah. If Josh Allen is MVP Josh Allen, this ain't gonna be a pretty game.
Yeah, and the Giants, they're going up to Orchard Park, and I think they will see MVP Josh Allen. Sorry, Wise, but I know you've been waiting all day for Sunday night, but you might want to go to bed a little early.
No, Wise probably will. Wise is not in any way, shape, or form delusional about this game. All right, and then we'll end off with the Monday night. We'll end up with the Monday Night Football game. We got the Cowboys versus the Chargers. Big time. What we got here?
I don't know. After the Cardinal game, I said I wouldn't make any predictions because I don't know which Cowboy team gonna show up. So I don't know. I don't know how Coach McCarthy is gonna call this. I thought for sure last week he would try to, bully people, and instead he turned into a finesse coach. So I don't know. And here's the funny thing I did on my show today. The amazing thing, which scares me about this game, is that the stats say it's unbelievable. The Chargers are the fifth rated offense in the league. They can move it passing or running. Eckler is coming back. He ain't played since week 1. That's a big boost for them, obviously. The receivers are good. And then, of course, Herbert is Herbert. He's pretty good. But the amazing thing that I saw was that the Chargers are the second to last team defensively. And they give up 100 yards passing per game. That's crazy. And but here's the thing, the balancing act is, do you really want Dak Prescott taking advantage of their secondary? My answer is no, because I don't want him passing the ball, because I don't trust him. I'm sorry. And to every Cowboy fan in here, I'm sorry. So they give up over 105 yards in rushing. Well, we done figured out now the strength of your offense is your offensive line. But they need to be going forward. They don't need to be going backwards in pass protection. They need to go forward. So my thing is, go ahead and lay on these guys. Start pounding them and keep Herbert off the field. You don't want to get into a shootout. Not this week. And Herbert and those guys can score the ball. Kellen Moore's there. They're averaging almost 28 points a game. Come on now. So it's obvious what need to happen. But McCarthy scares me because for some reason, he believes Dak Prescott is an MVP candidate. And he treats him like that. And that's where the trouble starts. So I don't know what to expect. So I can't say nothing. I don't know. I don't know. I hope we run the ball. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
That's fair. What you got, Couch Coach?
Yeah, I definitely think this could be a definitely interesting matchup. Obviously, the former pupil, Kellen Moore, is now orchestrating offense with the LA Chargers. I think it's gonna be one of those where it's weird. Dallas always have that 1 week they look good, the next week they look terrible. I think this is gonna be a situation where I think Dallas kind of turns the tide, and then you kind of, big time saying as far as like when it comes to, as far as the difference between the two. But I think more so the difference now is what type of Justin Herbert you'll see in this matchup, and I think that's where it's kind of interesting. And I think they'll get back on the snide this week, because it's usually that seesaw. Like 1 week they look good, the next week they look horrible. So I think they'll take care of business in LA.
Let me add one more. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then it's gonna be like 80% Cowboy fans there, so it's damn near a home game. So,
I just add this one thing to it, because I didn't question the manhood of my team. Now, I want to know, did they leave their heart in San Francisco? Is it still there on their field there, or did they get back on the plane? And did they bring their heart with them in Dallas? Because it's really about an attitude game. Everybody talking about how upset they are. Everybody talking about how ticked off they are. Well, you got to do more than talking. You got to show it. Michael Parsons got his own podcast show. Where's the heart at? That's I need to see it and that part I don't know. The Cowboys have got to get off to a fast start. Can't do like we did against San Francisco, get out 3 straight 3-and-outs and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what team gonna show up, so I can't really just assess it. Is it the first couple of weeks, or are we gonna get the car on the 49ers? Because as I said earlier, that if we win big. Every win has been a blowout, but when we lost, every loss has been a blowout. So I don't know the in-between ground for us right now.
That's fair. So Jack Guilford says Cowboys all day long, only if Dak doesn't play for Chargers.
Got to take it out of his hands.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. For me, I feel like it's like this. Dallas has had some games where they played well. Dallas has had some games where they've kind of been a little shaky. But I think the one thing is the defense has been pretty solid. The San Francisco 49ers kept the defense on the field a long time. So anytime you can keep a defense on the field, you can get them more down, and that's how you can, put up the big numbers on them. I think Dallas obviously has the Jekyll and Hyde situation that you were discussing, you're talking about. But also, when you look at the Chargers, the numbers are great, right? Their offense is amazing. But you pointed out that offense is amazing because their defense is allowing you to be in a track meet every game because they're giving up plays left and right. I don't trust Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley pulls out a 9mm pistol, revolver, whatever you want to say, and shoots himself in the foot and his team in the foot every game, even in wins. So I think because they don't do a lot defensively, they're going to allow you to score points, right? Whether it's on the ground, whether it's through the air, however, they're going to allow you to score points because they don't stop many teams. They just try to outscore you. But I think this is a game. Eckler's just coming back. They're going to try to force the ball to him too much. Herbert's going to make one of those bad throws to him that something bad's going to happen. I also think that Kellen Moore is going to be out so hard to try to outdo you guys offensively that he's going to put the angst on the defensive coordinator, who, honestly has not been calling games very well. And it's Derek Ansley.
Mm-hmm.
And we know Brandon Staley's going to override into some kind of silly call at some point in the game in a major play. So I think Dallas can win this game. I think they will win this game.
But do I trust Mike McCarthy? I don't know if I trust him. Go ahead.
My thing is, as long as your defense coordinator can get 2 stops, if y'all can get 2 stops in this game, you're going to win it.
Yeah, we can get 2 stops.
Yeah, because they're going to let you go back and forth. Yeah, they're gonna let you go back and forth in the field, right? Every once in a while they make a play defensively, but for the most part, their MO is outscore you. I have Justin Herbert in fantasy this year. Why do I have Justin Herbert in fantasy this year? Because I understand the Chargers are going to put up massive points offensively. Mm-hmm. Every league I'm in, the Chargers defense is sitting at the bottom of the list for fantasy defenses. Nobody has them. Everybody has all the offensive players for the Chargers. Nobody has the defensive players. Nobody has the defense. Why? Because we understand this is a team that wants to win a track meet. A team like Dallas, you let them get you in that situation. You let them get going. You let them get to making plays. And then they can get a couple of stops because your defense is going to get a couple of stops. That's all it's going to take to beat this Chargers team, I think. And I think he's going to do it.
I'm with you.
All right. So, guys, before we get out of here, any non-NFC Beast thoughts? Anything throw out there in the world of the NFL non-related to the NFC East before we get out of here?
Not really. It's just that the good teams, whether they look great or not, the common thing is that the good teams always find a way to win. The Chiefs don't look like the Chiefs, but at the end of the night, they won. And the good teams, you saying Philly doesn't look great or, like they did last year, but guess what? Still undefeated. The only 2 teams that have been just crazy was really Miami and Philly. But Miami's taking a blow because I think the system is to hit them in the mouth, and that's going to slow them down. Yeah. But San Francisco, of course, I'm sorry, I meant San Francisco. San Francisco may be peaking too early, but right now they're looking good. Jack, you're absolutely right about that. The Lions look real good. They're looking real good. I like everything that they do. Defense, running the ball. Golf seems to be real solid as usual. But again, you don't want to peak too early. And that's the thing about these guys who are jumping out there like that. So the teams, the good teams, the ones that are not looking great, and that's the Chiefs, they find a way to win regardless. Even if that means he got to throw to Travis Kelce 13, 14 times, and everybody knows it's coming that way, they still find a way to get it done. So that's the difference for me.
All right. Anything for you, Couch Coach?
Pretty much. And it's funny that you talked about it big time. The Kansas City Thursday night opponent, Denver Broncos. Hey, I know y'all got a fire sale. Holler at us. Our phones are available. Hey, let's make some deals. So hey, let's make some deals.
I'm gonna expand it a little further. If you want to get rid of players, the Eagles are buying. Howie's number, all y'all got it on speed dial. Go ahead and use it. We are in that position, like Big Tom said earlier. We're trying to win a championship So that means we got to sacrifice ourselves 2-3 years down the road to be garbage for a couple of years. We can be garbage while we hold those championship posters, towels, T-shirts, hats, all that good stuff. So let's get it. Go and call us. Let's make something happen. And with that being said, good people, I'm just going to quickly see if Big Time or Couch Coach wanted that you shout them out. We'll just want to do their shout out to where you can find them, and then we're going to be done for the evening. Couch Coach will start. Oh, go ahead, Big Time.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
Mine is simple. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Happy to hang with y'all guys once again. I'm simple. You can find me on the Big Time Show on Facebook or YouTube. We'll just deal with that. Once you come over, I'll tell you everywhere else where I am, Twitter and Twitch and all that kind of stuff. But for now, YouTube, Facebook, I'm not hard to find. You can catch me there.
All right, Couch Coach.
Couch goes live every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Check out the website, couchcoachlive.com. Social media, anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, with there. Anywhere you get your podcast with there, and social media as well. And then my Watch the Commanders Attention podcast, Thursday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Commanders in the chat, social media, Commanders ITC.
Fair enough. So I'm going to go different this week. I'm going to say Friday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, WDJYFM.com, or go to the TuneIn app, put in WDJY, and you'll find us there with the Play Callers Sports Talk Show. And also, start next Sunday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. Your boy Solo, WDRB Radio. You can also find that on TuneIn or WDRBradio.com. I'm going to be doing Cool in the Game. We're talking all things related to sports, commentary about things happening off the field. I'm going to be talking, things happening on the field. And of course, we are going to be doing picks. You got to do picks. You got to talk about what you're seeing from these teams so that when you're wrong with half of them, you can go back and talk about why you were wrong. But you can catch me there. So just a couple of more things I'm doing here, man. Just trying to branch out and make things happen. But with that being said, we're going to end the show for the evening. Appreciate Big Time. Make sure you check out his content. This man's good at what he does. Couch Coach always brings the Couch Coach flavor. And then your boy. You find me at some everywhere I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. So for your boy, for my boy Sam, who wasn't able to hop in tonight, and for my boy Wise, and for Martin at the Miami Hurricanes game, we out. We'll see you next week. NFC Beast is still in beast.